සුබදෑසනක් 2020 A-level විභාගය සඳහා සූදානම් වන දූ දරුවනි. BCI කැම්පස් අපි අද ඔබට මෙම ෆ්‍රී වෙබිනා වැඩසටහන සංවිධානය කරේ රටේ පවතින තත්ත්වය නිසා. ඉතින් අපි හිතනවා ඔබ මෙම වැඩසටහනෙන් උපරිම ඵල ප්‍රයෝජනෙ ලබා ගනී කියලා. ඉතින් ඔබගේ යාළුවන් ඉන්නවා නම් ඒගොල්ලන්ට ආරාධනා කරන්න. අද ජෙනරල් ඉංග්‍රීසි පේපර් එක නැත්නම් ප්‍රශ්න පත්‍රයේ පළමුවන සහ දෙවන කොටස අපි සාකච්ඡාවට බඳුන් කරනවා. ඒ සඳහා අපත් එක්ක එකතු වෙනවා මිස් තනුජා මයිකල් කොළඹ කලාපීය ගුරු උපදේශක මහත්මිය. Miss Tanuja, we really thank you for coming all the way from Colombo and accepting our invitation. Over to you, Miss.
Okay. Thank you. So good morning, dear students. And how are you today? Yes, so we welcome very warmly to take part in this webinar, which is going to be a very useful session for you because we'll be discussing part 1 and part 2 of your general English paper, which is the new syllabus. Okay, so to start off with, let me remind you, let me ask you this way. Do you have a book, a pencil or a pen and a few papers or an exercise book with you? Maybe you could have your A-level general English book also, your textbook. So that we'll be discussing a paper, you'll be writing answers and we'll be discussing the answers. So have it, children. Go and get it quickly and come. Right. Okay. So I'm sure you'll be really busy studying these days. Yeah. Okay. So your paper, this is the overview of the paper. You have two papers, part 1 and part 2, paper 1 and paper 2. Your paper 1 is 1 hour. You'll be given 1 hour to complete your paper 1, which consists of part A and B. So in part A, we have grammar and vocabulary, for which you'll be getting 35 marks. And part B will be testing your reading and writing skills, for which you'll be getting 25 marks. And your paper 2, unlike the previous syllabus, you'll be getting 3 hours, part A, part B and part C. So in part A, you'll be having few reading questions, and then part B will be on dialogues, and part C will be on writing. Just look at the marking, children, the marks allocation. Paper 2, you'll be obtaining 140 marks, you'll be getting 140 marks, 50 for reading skills, 25 for dialogues, and 65 for writing skills. So 65 for writing, which means your writing, the marks that you get for your writing matters a lot for your overall mark. So paper 1 and paper 2 both are equally important. So we'll be discussing the paper with you today and a few areas that is given in your textbook. So I hope you are ready to start the program. I'll be starting with question number 1 of your paper. So this is what we have in your paper 1. Question 1 of your paper 1. The aim of this question is to test the candidate's mastery of grammatical items. Right? So for this, your knowledge about prepositions, determiners, modals, conjunctions and pronouns all will be useful. For example, when we talk about prepositions, you know, we have prepositions of time, preposition of place, then prepositions of movement. Okay, think of the determiners. What are determiners? All these are in your textbook, children. All these are in your textbook, right? So determiners, what are determiners? Yeah, so we use them before a noun or any other adjective that describes a noun. For example, articles, quantifiers like what are those? All, many, all these are quantifiers. අපි යම්කිසි ප්‍රමාණයක් කියනවා නේද? Also possessives are all determiners. Just try to jot down a few determiners in your book if you can. Determiners. Yes. And what are these models? You remember you learnt on models? Can, will, should, shall, will, would, may, might. All these are models. Jot down a few on your book. You studied models in your unit 2 of your A-level General English book. That brown color book? Yes. So what are conjunctions? Conjunctions you studied in your unit 6. We have different kinds of conjunctions. We use, for example, and, but, or. Just think of those things. And pronouns. What are pronouns? Words that we use instead of a noun. Mala is a good girl. She. So she becomes a pronoun there. Kamal is an A-level student. He is from Colombo. So he is a pronoun there. Right? So jot down. These are the areas that has been given in your textbook, and these are the areas that will be tested in your question 1. පළවෙනි ප්‍රශ්න පත්‍රයේ පළවෙනි ප්‍රශ්නේ ඔයාලගෙන් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා prepositions, determiners, models, conjunctions, pronouns මේ කිහිපයෙන් මොන හරි එක skill එකක් එක area එකක් test කරන්න. Right? Okay, let's go to the, this is the aim of your question 1. So let me just show you an example, a few words that you need conjunctions. So we have coordinating conjunctions, subordinating conjunctions, correlative conjunctions. These are, children, just to awaken your what you have studied, just a brush up. I'm sure you would have studied these things with your teachers in your schools. So we coordinating conjunction are kind of simple kind of conjunctions. We, to remember easily, we say fanboys, right? So for, and, nor, but, or, yet. So easy to remember. So we connect two ideas by using them. And when we want to connect a main clause, a dependent clause and an independent clause, we use these words, rather conjunctions. After, although, as, as far as if, even though, every time, if, in order that, since. Right? When you want to connect an independent clause with a dependent clause, we use them. And what are these correlative conjunctions, children? Can we use them in isolation? මේවා තනි වචනයක් විදිහට පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන්ද? Either or. You can't use them in isolation. Right? So where do we use either or? We have two options. Out of the two, we can talk about or we can think of one thing. Either it will rain today or it may not rain today. So not only but also. We don't use this also in isolation. Not only Mala will take part in the competition, but also you can connect another sentence. So neither nor කොයි වෙලාවටද අපි මේක පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ? When you want to talk about both things not happening, we use this. Right? Okay. So these are some of the prepositions that I have prepared for you. Right? For example, with certain prepositions, with certain words, we use this particular preposition. So make a note of it. Right? We say attached to, beneficial to. Associated with, angry with, busy with. Okay, and we say I'm good at sports. I'm skillful at. And when we use about, I'm happy about, I'm anxious about, I am certain about, I'm enthusiastic about. Right? And when do we use the preposition for? You are appreciated for. I am eligible for. My friend is suitable for. You are responsible for. So these are the areas where we use the preposition for. On, based on, keen on. In, I am interested in, they are experienced in. From. So these are a few examples, only a few examples that we have given you. And sometimes you can use 2-3 prepositions for certain words, verbs. So those are the examples that I've given here. Okay. Right, so let's see what we have next. These are a few more prepositions which we use with adjectives. Right, so these are all important, children, not only for question number 1, but also for other questions related to grammar, even writing, even when you do your dialogue part in part 2. All these are very, very important. Let's see what we have next. Right, so this is question number 1, which we have prepared for you. Just take 2 minutes and see whether you can fill them up. Try to write, you don't need to write the whole thing, just write the answers, write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and write the answers. We'll check the answers afterwards. I think you can take about 2 minutes. Keep in mind your part 1 question paper is only for 1 hour. So this is only one example that we have given you. For the exam, you might get other things as well what we have spoken about just now. Prepositions, conjunctions, models, anything possible. Yeah, just take 2 minutes. Right, I think we can discuss the answers now. Just a reminder, children, if you have any questions, you can post us. You can send us. We'll be answering after doing this. Yes, so the answers go like this. Right. A 65-year-old woman had a heart attack and was taken to the hospital. While on the operating table, she had a near-death experience. Seeing God, she asked, "Is my time up?" God said, "No, you have another 33 years, 2 months, and 8 days to live." Upon recovery, the woman decided, so this is the verb given here, decided. What is the preposition? Yes, to. Decided to stay. Let me also tell you something. So after these two, we use the base form of the verb. Decided to stay in the hospital and have a facelift, liposuction, and a tummy tuck. She even had someone come in and change her hair color and brighten her teeth. Since she had so much more time to live, she figured she might as well make the most of it. You make most of it. So the right answer for the second question is of. After her last operation, she was released. You get released from. So the answer is from. You release from. She was released from the hospital. While crossing the street, on her way home, so it should be on, she was killed by an ambulance. Arriving in front of God, she demanded, "God, you said I had another 33 years to live. Why didn't you pull me out from the path of the ambulance?" God replied, "I didn't recognize you." Okay, a good lesson for us also, children. Yes, then දරුවනේ මෙන්න මෙතන බලන්න, while crossing on her way home. So we always say on her way home, on his way home for going home. On my way home, you don't say on the way home. It gives another meaning. She was killed by an ambulance. So you go by a car, you go by bus. Okay? What do you say when you walk? We don't use the word, the preposition by. We say on foot. walk on foot. Okay, just a hint, when you write, try to tick these off or cut the answers that you have written, so that you know you will spend less time on looking at the same word over and over again. Right, so these are small tips to save time. So no sooner you finish a word, tick it off or mark it, it's easy for you. Done. Just check your marks. How much you get? 5 marks here, 1 each. So just think how many marks you have got it. Got the mark? How many marks have you got? Count your marks. We are not able to do it from here. Good. Right. It's not difficult, children. Only thing you have to have the practice. And it's not too late. It's still June. You have enough time. Okay? So read a lot. Sit and do some work like this. It's easy for you. නේද? පොඩ්ඩක් ඉඳගෙන පොඩ්ඩක් වැඩ කරපුවාම අපිට ලේසි. right. පාඩම් කරන්න ලේසි. ඒතර විභාගෙට ගොඩාක් නිදි මරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. ටික ටික වැඩ කරපුවාම දැන් මේද. Okay, so let's go to the question number 2. What is question number 2? So in question number 2, there are also certain grammatical points will be tested. Earlier, it was only 5 marks, and now you'll be getting 10 marks. ලකුණු 10ක් ලොකු දෙයක් පුතේ දුවේ. ඒ නිසා කොහොමද once you finish your work, go through and see whether you have written the right answer. ලකුණක් නැති වෙනවා කියන්නේත් ලොකු පාඩුවක් පුතේ. Yes, so you'll be getting 10 marks. Yes. මෙතනදී මොනවද අපෙන් බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ? මේකත් කලින් කරා වගේම completion එකක් තමා. You are expected to write the kind of correct form of the verb, right? So for this, you should know the verb forms, verb kind of wide range of tenses. එතකොට මේ වගේ එක්සර්සයිස් එකක් කරද්දී අපි බලන්න ඕනේ මේක තියෙන්නේ present tense එකෙන්ද past tense එකෙන්ද. Also, we have the correct aspect of the verb, whether it is simple, whether it is progressive, right, whether it is perfect tense or perfect progressive. මෙන්න මේවත් දලන් ඉන්න ඕනේ දරුවනේ. இதுகள நாங்க தெரிஞ்சிருக்க வேணும் புள்ளியல், right? உங்களுக்கு tenses பத்தி knowledge வேணும் போல, verbs forms பத்தி knowledge வேணும் போல, you need the correct aspect of the verb also. And also, you should be able to recognize the correct voice. Active voice එකෙන් දීලා තියෙනවද නැත්නම් passive voice, it's easy for you. So let's go to the exercise and see how to answer this kind of a question. Right. Another 2 minutes. We have, last time we had 5, this time we have 10. So a quick practice. Yes. So if we have done this, we can go to the next part of it because we have 10 questions here. Right, so let's go to the next part of the question. Let's say, first look at the question and see, children, whether it is given in the present tense, past tense, or the future tense, the tense of it. Right, I think it's time enough. Can we discuss the answers now? Yes. Okay, so sugar is a cancer feeder. By cutting off sugar, so see the tense, the sugar is, they have given in the present tense, right? So sugar is a cancer feeder. By cutting off sugar, it. So it is singular. Therefore, the given verb is cut. So when you get this word, think whether you have to use singular or the plural form of it, right? So we always add, if it is a third person singular, we add S to the verb නේද දරුවනේ අපි verb එකට S එකතු කරනවා third person singular නම්. ඒතර it කියන්නේ third person singular. එම නිසා අපිට පාවිච්චි කරන්න වෙනවා cut එකට S එකක් යොදන්න වෙනවා. So it becomes cuts. By cutting off sugar, it cuts off one important food supply to the cancer cells. Milk causes the body to produce mucus, especially in the gastrointestinal tract. Cancer feeds on mucus. By cutting off milk and blank. ඔන්න බලන්න දරුවනේ මම අර අපි කලින් කිව්වා and කියන conjunction එක තියෙද්දි so you talk about two similar things, right? So the first part of it, by cutting off milk, so you combine two similar sentences, two independent clauses, right? Sentences. So by cutting off, so cutting off කියලා මෙතන තියෙන නිසා it's easy for you to identify. Substitute, the word substitute has to made in the progressive form. So cutting off, substituting. With unsweetened soy milk, cancer cells starve. The right word here should be starve. Right? So that's a general thing which is given in the simple present tense. Present tense, so you have to use the word starve here. Cancer cells starve, right? Cancer cells thrive in an acid environment. A meat-based diet is acidic and it is best, the word given is eat. So this, pay attention to this infinitive to, right? So after the verb to, we always have the base form of the verb, right? Base form of the verb. So any verb preceded by the word to is an infinitive. So here the right answer is eat. To eat fish. And a little chicken rather than beef or pork. Meat also. So meat is singular. Therefore, we add S to the verb. Contain. We need to write contains. Livestock antibiotics, growth hormones, all these things. So we don't have any questions to answer. Therefore, we'll go to the next one. About 20% can be from cooked food, including beans. Fresh vegetable juices provide live enzymes that are easily Pay attention to this are. So absorb, so it has to be absorbed and reach down the cellular levels within 15 minutes. So that's why, children, I told you your knowledge of reported speech, or rather direct speech and indirect speech, are very important. Or your knowledge in passive, right? Active voice, passive voice, all these are very, very important. Yes, so here we go. Avoid coffee, tea, and chocolate, which have high caffeine. Green tea, the word given is B within the brackets. එතකොට B කියපුවාම දරුවනේ B verb වලදී ඔයාලට පාවිච්චි කරන්න පුළුවන් වචන කිහිපයක් තියෙනවා. Am, is, are, was, were. So මේ වචන අතුරින් think which is the best word that you could use. The be verb. So green tea is singular. So you remember we started with the present tense. So here also green tea. So what is the best word that we could use? Is, because it is green tea. Given green tea is a better alternative and has cancer fighting properties. Water. Water, best drink to purified water or filtered. Again, look at this word, to. To avoid. Can you see there's no change? Right? You can get things like that also. Right? To avoid known toxins and heavy metals. Cancer is a disease of the mind, body and spirit. A proactive and positive spirit will help. So your knowledge about models will, after model, the verb we use will be in the base form. නේද? අපි මතක ඇතිනේ ඉගෙන ගත්ත base form, the first column, second column, third column නේද? Base form කියන්නේ we keep it in the simple present tense, then the past tense, and then the past participle. So help, helped, helped. Eat, ate, eaten. So first column is always given in the base form, the bare form, right? The cancer warrior, be a survivor. Anger, resentment and bitterness put the body into a stressful and acidic tap water. Distilled water is acidic, so avoid it. People who have, pay your attention to have, to relax and enjoy life are healthier. So here, have learnt, the answer is learnt. Have learnt is, think whether it is a present perfect or a past perfect tense. Have learnt? Yes. So when you say have, either has or have, with the past participle, we call them the present perfect, right? So because we can use have in as a full verb also. I have a house, I have a car, I have a computer. So එතනදී have full verb එකක් වුණාට මෙතන full verb එකක් නෙමෙයි. So learn, the past participle of learn is learnt. ඒකයි දරුවනේ ඔයාලට the knowledge of all these things are very, very important at the exam. බය වෙන්න එපා දැන් ඔහොම කිව්වා කියලා. අපි පොඩ්ඩක් තව කල් තියෙනවානේ පොඩ්ඩක් කියවලා ඒවා හදාගමු. මේ ඔයාලගේ පොතේ මේ සේරම තියෙනවා. You have all these things. If you want, I can give you the page number also. So sentence patterns we have in your chapter 7, in your unit 7. Right? And then you have models in unit 6. In page number 136. Right? We have past perfect in your unit 3 of your book. And that we find in page number 67. පොත දැන් අතේ තියෙනවා නම් පොඩ්ඩක් පෙරලලා බලන්න නේ. If you have the book now, just turn the pages and see whether you have these grammar points in your book. Yes, so what is the next question? Question number 3. It is a kind of modified cloze text which has 10 blanks. Right? You have 10 blanks. So here what happens is you have to underline the most suitable word. You'll be given a few words within the brackets and you'll have to underline the most appropriate word. දැන් දරුවනේ සමහරකට ඔයාලට කියනවා underline the word කියලා. When they tell you to underline the word, make sure that you underline them. ඇයි මම මේක කියන්නේ? Why do I say this? Because when you underline, you can save time rather than writing. Keep in mind, your paper part 1 is only for 1 hour. පැයක කාලයක් තියෙන්නේ මේ පැයක කාලයක් තුල underline කරන්න කියලා තියෙන අවස්ථාවලදී දරුවනේ පුරුදු වෙන underline කරන්න. When you write, it consumes time. Right, so these you get your knowledge, your grammar knowledge is tested here. So let's go to the question at once. 2 minutes, hurry up, don't write the whole thing, just write 1, 2, 3, 4 and only the answer. We'll check the answers afterwards. So the question goes like this: an elderly mason. So think of the tense. When we read an elderly mason, we don't know the tense. So just read through and see whether it is given in present tense, past tense. So this is a kind of a jumble thing. So your knowledge on prepositions, pronouns, determiners, conjunctions, all these are tested. Okay? Can we discuss or you need more time? අපි discuss කරලා බලමු නේද මොකද්ද මේක තියෙන්නේ කියලා. It's also a nice story, something to learn for our life. Right. Okay, let me check. Yeah. An elderly mason was ready to retire and told his boss of his plans to leave. So the right answer is was ready to retire and told his boss of his plans to leave and live a more leisurely life by away his family. So you live with your family, right? Leisurely life with his family. He would miss the paychecks, but his needed to retire. So do we say him needed to retire, he needed to retire, or his needed to retire? So in the subject position, we use he always. වාක්‍යයක් මුලදී අපි දැන් මේක but කියන conjunction එකකින් combine කරන sentence එකක් දුවේ පුතේ. එතකොට අපි මෙතනදී නැවත පටන් ගන්නේ he needed to retire. So here his කියන එක අපි it's a possessive. We do not use in the subject position. Him we don't use in the subject position, right? So his is it is a possessive pronoun. We don't use it at this point. You can say his car, his umbrella, his book, but we don't say his needed. It's a verb, needed. So he needed to retire. The boss, the contractor, was sorry to see such, look at the word honest, such, many and some. So honest කියලා අපි HONEST කියලා spell කරාට, though we spell it HONEST We pronounce it as honest. Therefore, this H becomes silent, children. E nisa, we use an. An honest worker go and he asked the mason to build just one house as personal favor. So, an personal favor, impossible. Because it is, P is not a vowel. The personal favor, no. He is talking about a personal favor. Right? The mason agreed but did not take any little few interest in his work. So we say he did not take any interest because this is a negative form. Did not take any interest in his work. He resorted to shoddy, careless workmanship. And then our knowledge about conjunctions, right? But, or, and. So it has to be and. When you say but, වෙනත් දෙයක් ගැන කියන්නේ, you don't connect the question. I mean the statement. It has to be similar. So careless workmanship, used inferior material. So it has to be and. So or is when you have another option. And used inferior material. Yeah, material. So it, there's a full stop. It was an unfortunate way to end a successful career. So it has to be it here. They're referred to the way. So they, him, we don't use. When the mason finished his work, so work, his work. The employer came to inspect the house. He handed the front door key to the carpenter. He said, this, the answers given, look at the answers given, this was been. So what is the best? Look at the speech marks here. Right? So it's the spoken utterances are happening right now. So this is your house. It is my gift to you. So children, learning education is not only learning, securing qualifications to your life, right? Not only academic things. So these are values or kind of rather the attitude also should be sharpened. So this is one such things where you can think of your values also. So, okay, so what is question number 4? Word collocations. There are certain words where we have to use the same word. You can't use another. For example, අපි කියනවා fast train. නමුත් අපි කියන්නේ නැහැ quick train කියලා. We say fast food. Right? When you buy things from outside, which are known as fast food, we don't say quick food. But we say a quick shower. Fast shower එකක් අරන් එන්න කියන්නේ නැහැනේ අපි නේද? Yeah, quick shower. අම්මලා හැම උදේට කියනවා ඉතින් have a quick shower and come soon කියලා. Right? So we don't take a fast shower. Similarly, you take a quick meal, but you don't take a fast meal. So these are, we call them word collocations. Right? So we convey a message. Have you seen people committing suicide? Some people say suicided. Right? So you always commit suicide, which is not a good thing, not a good example though. Right. Yes, so let's go to the next part of it. You have 5 marks here, you allocated 5 marks. So see what are the words given. Think of the best option. I'll give you 2 minutes. Not a difficult task though. I know you use these things. මේවා සාමාන්‍යයෙන් අපි පාවිච්චි කරනවා නේද? මේ වගේ වචන අපේ in our day to day life. Okay, if you think time is enough, let's discuss. Okay, number 1. The bank manager instructed the customer how to blank money through the machine. Deposit, put, place. Right? So the right word is deposit. We don't say put money. We don't say place money. We always deposit money through the machine. Right? Number 2, it was too late when we came home after. So watching, witnessing, seeing. So you always watch a movie. Right? You always watch a movie. You don't say see a movie. We don't say witness a movie. So witness is something else. Sakshi darno ane yam kisi deyak. Right? So witnessing. Number 3, one of the aims of education is to grow, increase, instill. Grow, increase, instill values among children. So we always instill values. Right? Number 4, as Udani was sick, teacher asked me to make a call, take a call, dial a call. You always make a call. You don't take calls, children. Keep that in mind. Okay. Number 5, my parents are happy that I have improved, enhanced, escalated in my studies. Right? So all these words, they go, they are kind of similar. But when it comes to certain ideas, certain collocations, there are certain words that we have to use. So improved in my studies. Okay? So what is question number 5? Again, this is to test your knowledge of grammatical or kind of morphological aspect of words. That is, you'll be given a set of words and you are asked to underline the most suitable kind of the suffix. Mostly suffixes will be given. So it is a kind of a word ending. So you have to see, here is where you need your spelling. Your knowledge of spellings is also important. Your knowledge of grammatical items, like whether it is a noun or a verb or an adverb. So these are also very, very important. Right? So let's go to the question. Let's take 2 minutes in answering this. මෙන්න මෙතනදී පොඩ්ඩක් බලන දරුවනේ මෙතනදී දැන් අපිට noun එකක්ද verb එකක්ද adverb එකක්ද කියන knowledge එක ටිකක් වටිනවා. දැන් off තියනවා නම් ඊට ඉස්සෙල්ලා බොහෝ වෙලාවට අපිට එන්නේ noun එකක්. ඒකෙත් අපිට spellings දෙනන් ඉන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට verb එකක් නම් ඊට ඉස්සෙල්ලා එන්නේ මොන වගේ දෙයක්ද? verb එකක් නම් කලින් verb එකට ඉස්සෙල්ලා හරි පිටිපස්සේ හරි අපිට adverb එකක් එන්න පුළුවන්. noun එකක් තිබ්බොත් adjective එකක්. adjective එකේදී spellings කොහොමද? இதில் புள்ளியல் நீங்கள் என்ன கூட பார்க்கணும்னா உங்களோட nouns, verb, adjectives, adverbs அந்த knowledge is very very important. Right? அப்போ ஒரு verb ஒன்று இருந்தால் அதுக்கு முதல் இல்லாட்டி அதுக்கு பிறகு it has to be an adverb. ஒரு noun ஒன்று தந்திருந்தால் அதுக்கு முதல் அது it has to be an adjective. So this knowledge is very very important when you work a question like this. Right, let's go to the answer. A well-balanced diet provides the right vitamins, minerals, nutrients to keep the body and mind strong and healthy. Eating well balanced, eating well can also aid in the prevention. Look at the spellings. So the right word is prevention. Prevention niket SION the TION. The right word is prevention, but the problem is whether you are going to use SION or TION. So when you have off, it has to be a noun, but the spelling, think of the spelling, right? So the TION will be the right answer. A variety of diseases and health problems, as well as helping to maintain a healthy body weight, providing energy and promoting a general feeling of being. A black balanced diet. So balanced, a regular balanced diet. You don't say regularly balanced. You don't say regulation. You know. So a regular balanced diet is very important to the immune system, helping to ensure that vitamins, minerals and other nutrients necessary to its efficient function are available. Even minimal deficiencies in certain nutrients can impair immune system function, such as vitamin A, B vitamin, vitamin C, vitamin E, zinc, iron and selenium. A balanced diet also has a strong effect on vascular function, since the immunization is dependent on blood flow. Right? So after the, it's always a noun that we have. After articles, and the, right. So we have ended our part A of paper 1. Part A, you know, we had about 5 questions. We answered 5 questions now, and you can count your marks. So in part B, you have 3 questions. Question 6 is about sentence comprehension, for which you will be getting 5 marks. And question 7 is about your basic reading skills. And question 8 is going to be on paragraph development. So this is the only writing task we have. Part 1 is this, your paragraph development. So let's go to question number 5. So here, your aim is to see how you read and comprehend, right? Is to read and comprehend how you interpret a sentence. So mostly you'll be getting kind of MCQs. So one good thing about it is that you have things to underline, right? Okay. Right. So the first one, I wish I had listened to my teacher's advice. Just try to do this. Select the best answer. Right, so let's discuss the question. If you think you have done it. This is something very logical thing, children. You have to think a little and then answer. Right? Okay. So, your ability of comprehension. I wish I had listened to my teacher's advice. So first think whether this is given in the present tense or in the past tense. I wish I had listened to my teacher's advice. Right? So I wish I had. The action is over. Okay? So, mata teacher කියන අවවාදයට ඇහුම්කන් දෙන්න තිබුණා නම් තියෙන තිබ්බා නේද? I wish I had listened to my teacher. මගේ ගුරුතුමිය කියපු දෙයට මට ඇහුම්කන් දෙන්න තිබ්බා. So what is the option? I listened to my teacher. මම ටීචර්ගේ අවවාදයට ඇහුම්කන් දුන්නද? Did I listen to my teacher's advice? Or did not I listen to my teacher's advice? So I wish to listen to my teacher's advice. When you say that, this is something that would happen in future. I wish to listen. I always listen. So yesterday, today, tomorrow, that happens every day. But the sentence given is something past. So you have two options here, the first one and the second one. Out of the two, which is the best? So you can't say I listened because it did not happen. So the best option is I did not listen to my teacher's advice. No other poet is as great as Shakespeare. Shakespeare වගේ වෙන කවුරුත් උතුම් නැහැ නේද? වරෝරු poet මේ Shakespeare පොළ not great. So that is the idea here. So Shakespeare is a great poet. Shakespeare is not a great poet. Shakespeare is the greatest poet. Other poets are greater than Shakespeare. So when you say other poets are greater than Shakespeare, you are putting other poets in priority. Right? So think of the best option that we could have here. No other poet is as great as Shakespeare. So we place Shakespeare in a higher elevation at this point. Therefore, the best answer could be Shakespeare is the greatest poet. Look at the next one. It was Teresa who rescued the drowning boy while other people were watching the scene. It was Teresa who rescued the drowning boy. කවුද බේරගත්තේ? Teresa. ගිලනේ ළමයාව නේද? While other people were watching. අනිත් අය මොනවද කරේ? යාලා බලාගෙන හිටියා. மற்றவர்கள் பார்த்து கொண்டிருக்கும் போது who rescued? Teresa. So think of that. So the answers are Teresa saved the boy was drowned. So Teresa rescued. So this rescued is saving. So you can't say drowned. එතකොට අපිට මේ දෙවෙනි එක අදාළ වෙන්නෙම නැහැ. Other people saved the boy while other people were watching the scene. අනිත් අය බලමින් හිටියා නේද? නරඹමින් பார்த்து கொண்டிருந்தார்கள். Other people saved the boy. Teresa with other people saved the boy. So who actually saved the boy? Yes, so the first answer is the best option. Right? Do these two also, children? Right, let's look at this one. Having watched the movie, the friends stepped towards a restaurant to have lunch. Having watched the movie. එතකොට මේ වෙද්දි movie එක බලලා ඉවරද? Having watched the movie, the friends stepped towards a restaurant to have lunch. Okay? So which action happened first? Watching the movie or having lunch? Think of those two. The friends watched the movie but could not go to the restaurant. So here අපිට කියන්න බෑ could not go to the restaurant because the friends stepped towards a restaurant. Look at the third one. The friends first went to the restaurant and then watched the movie. So did they go to the restaurant first? No. So we can't take that answer. The friends neither watched the movie nor went to the restaurant. මතකද කලින් අපි අර conjunctions ගැන කතා කරද්දී we spoke about neither nor. They don't appear in isolation. අපිට මේ වචන in isolation තනියම පාවිච්චි කරන්න බෑ. You have to use both together. So මේ දෙකම වුණේ නැහැ කියලා කියන්නේ. The ரெண்டு actions මේ නඩ පෙරෙල්ලන தான் இந்த sentenceல சொல்லினோம் என்ன? Neither nor. So what could be the best option? The friends first watched the movie and then went to the restaurant. Look at this one. Had Kamal not missed the plane, he would have been killed in the crash. So had Kamal not missed the plane, plane එක miss නොකර තිබුණා නම්, okay, plane mispanni irukati. So Kamal had been killed in the crash. Kamal missed the plane, so he was not killed in the crash. Kamal did not miss the plane, so he was killed in the crash. Kamal did not miss the plane, but he was not killed in the crash. So what is the right answer? The second one is the right answer. Kamal missed the plane. Okay. Right. So question number 7. This is the, as I told you, this is also test your reading skills. Um, um, yeah, so I'll straight away go to the question, because reading you have in part 2. Also, I'll talk a little about how to handle reading questions in part 2. So this is the advertisement. This is an advertisement. Just go through it before we try the questions. Right, so this is the advertisement. So the first question is, this is an advertisement about vacancies for, you have 4 options: businessmen, bankers, web developers, software engineers. So just go through that and see. The Bank of Punjab is one of the leading banks with a large network of branches across Pakistan. The bank is looking for high caliber experience, so bank. So branch managers, deputy branch operation managers, so these are all the vacancies that we have. So what is the best answer for the first one? Okay. Yes, so the answer should be bankers. I'm discussing straight away, children, because you might not remember the ad and you cannot go back and forth in the slides. Right, the second one, which of the statements is true about the advertisement? Vacancies are for a bank in Pakistan. There are only 1 branch for the entire country. 5 C passes at ordinary level is the minimum qualification. The highest qualification is possessing a degree for the posts. Right? So the question is, which of the statements is true? So they want the true statement. So branches across Pakistan. Branches across Pakistan. So the answer should be the first one. Vacancies are for a bank in Pakistan. Let's go to the third one. The right candidate should possess education qualifications and work experience, interest to achieve targets, neat and pleasant, all of the above. So go back to the ad and see. Look at the first few sentences itself. The bank is looking for high caliber, experienced, self-motivated and well-groomed professionals for the following positions. Right? So these are given in other words here. Okay? So the answer should be all of the above. Which of the following is not mentioned in the advertisement? Existing vacancies, educational background required for the posts, advantages of becoming an employee of this institute, monthly salary in figures. So go back again and see which is not given. Right. So what's the right answer? Yes. Which of the following is not mentioned? So keep in mind the question is not mentioned. So the right answer would be monthly salary in figures. මෙතන කිව්වට දරුවනේ positions carry attractive market based emoluments benefits කියලා කිව්වට they don't talk about salary in how many rupees they would get. So this should be the right answer. So next one is also a similar question like this, where you will be asked to answer true, false and not given. Right? So I have put both together. Just try to say true, false or not given in this. Let's check the answers after that. So, yeah, so let's check the answers, children. So the first one is only applications should be sent through. Yes, children. So hope you have done question number, the next part of this from 5 to 10. Yes, the first question you have to answer is application should be sent through the post. So you have to say whether it is true, false or not given. Sent through the post. So just go through this last part of it and see what do they say, right? They want you to encouraging to apply online at and a web address is given. So through the post, it is not through the post. So you have to say false. Okay, so they have given you a cage like this, a column like this. Just say false there. Next one, the right candidate will not only get a salary but also other benefits, right? But also other benefits. Oh, sorry, I missed the sixth one. Only fresh graduates can apply. So only fresh graduates can apply. Look at the qualifications they have required for, right? So they say preference will be given to candidates having MBA. So not only fresh graduates, but others also. Preference is given to the MBA candidates who have MBAs, right? So decide whether it is true, false or not given. Look at number 7. The right candidate will not only get a salary but also other benefits. Go through this last line. The above mentioned positions carry attractive market-based emoluments benefits. So not only a salary but also other benefits as well. So is it right? Is it true, false or not given? Look at number 8. Okay, entry requirements are not mentioned for security personnel. Security personnel officers ලට කියලා තියෙනවද entry requirements මොනවද කියලා. බැඳීමේ තියෙන සුදුසුකම්. Right? So you will not find that in anywhere in this advertisement. So you have to say not given there. Okay. Then number 9, a suitable candidate can apply for these vacancies today. So in a reading test, your directly stated information is tested and implied information is tested. This information is not given to you directly. අපිට උකහා ගන්න වෙනවා එම අදහස. For example, look at the date here. 2nd March 2016. The question is, a suitable candidate can apply for these vacancies today. So this becomes, yes, you think of it. I don't know. What's the answer? Yes, it is a false statement. Look at number 2. The bank is capable of changing imposed rules of entry requirements. Read this last part which have been given under the note. If it is too small, I'll go to the bigger advertisement. The management of the bank reserves the right to change, alter above mentioned criteria and reject applications without assigning any reason. Right? Yes, so this is the reason. So what is your answer? The bank is capable of changing imposed rules of entry requirements. So true, false or not given? Not given? No, it has to be true. Right. Okay. Let's go to question number 8. So this is the only writing activity we have in part 1. The purpose of this is to test your ability to develop a paragraph based on a given sentence. So to do this, you need a lot of knowledge on your linking devices, right? Kind of you have to prioritize the details. So certain words we use to say in addition. I'll be giving you more this on another slide. So you have what are the words we use for in addition, what are the words we use for contrast. Also, your sentences should be logically connected. So keep in mind your sentences should be logically connected. Very, very important. Okay, so the mark allocation for this will be 10. You have to write about 75 to 100 words. 4 marks will be given for content and 6 marks will be given for language. So your language, daruwane walage භාෂාව ලියන විදිහ, grammar, vocabulary, very, very important. Okay, so the first thing you have to do, let's see the question and we'll talk about it. So here, proper actions should be taken to avoid the spread of COVID-19. ඔන්න දීලා තියෙනවා අපිට වාක්‍යයක්. දැන් මේ වාක්‍ය දිගේ තමයි ඔයාලා යන්න ඕනේ. 10 marks. Okay, so what you have to understand in this is the focus of the question, focus of the sentence. Proper action should be taken to avoid the spread of COVID-19. So think of the sufficient amount of supporting details that you need to construct this. You have to be aware of proper linking devices. නේද දරුවනේ? Linking devices තියෙන්න ඕනේ. Discourse markers මතක තියාගන්න. දැන් අපි කලින් කතා කරා addition වලට අපි කියනවා moreover, further. Okay, and then also sequence. The words that we use to show sequence, first, second, finally, things like that. Also, you have to connect your ideas logically, right? So here I'll give you some examples, words that we use. Yeah, things like this. Just go through them. Okay. You're just answering the question. Yeah, there was a question on what is the difference between little and few. Children, when you say little, we say it is kind of we say non-countable nouns, right? And we use is with the singular form to indicate that something, something is there in a very small amount. Very, 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 very small amount, right? We use few to talk about countables. We also use is. We can use in the plural form, right? For example, I have little money. Okay, also think of the differences between a little and little. When I say I have little money, what do you mean? I have a lot or very, very little. So these two differ, so keep that in mind. Also, there was another question on the question number 4, I think, about an honest worker. So why honest? Why I have written an on this honest? So though we spell H-O-N-E-S-T honest, we pronounce as honest, not honest. H is silent there, right? H is silent there. Therefore, we say honest. The vowel sound O. Therefore, we use N. Right? So we say an honest person, an honest teacher, an honest student. Okay? Also, I would just like to remind you, university. Though the letter is U, we say a university because the sound is U, not U. A university, but an honest person. Okay? Right. So let's go to the next slide. Yeah, it's paper 2. Right. So just focusing on these children, proper action should be taken to avoid the spread of COVID-19. What are the things that you should keep in your mind? Proper actions should be taken to avoid COVID-19. When you say that, can you talk about the spread of COVID-19? Because this is going to be only one paragraph. You are not supposed to take about the birth of COVID-19, the spread of COVID-19. Your focus is actions to be taken to avoid it. Right? So here, think of make a හොඳට මතක තියාගන්න දරුවනේ මෙතන we are expected to write only one paragraph. Right? One paragraph. If you write 2 paragraphs, මොකද වෙන්නේ දන්නවද? You will not be marked. You'll be marked only on your first paragraph. Right? So be careful. Paragraph එකක් ලියන්න කියවපුවම එක paragraph එකයි ලියන්නේ. ඊට වඩා paragraphs එකක් නැහැ. Paragraphs දෙක තුනක් ලියුවොත් ඉතින් අපිට බලන්න වෙන්නේ පළවෙනි paragraph එක තමයි. මොකද we see a lot of papers coming in, answer scripts with 2-3 paragraphs. See, write a paragraph. ஒரு paragraph எழுத சொல்லிக்க புள்ளியா நாங்க 2-3 paragraphs எழுதினா உங்களுக்கு marks வராது. You will be getting marks only for the first one. So keep that in mind. So I'll give you another example. When you are asked to write, proper actions should be taken to control dengue menace in the country. You have to write supportive details including the appropriate actions, right? It is not about the disease or why the disease is rapidly increasing, all these things. Not about the disease or why it has been spreaded. This is only about the actions that could be taken. So you can use these linking devices and then build your answer on. Right. Yay, we have done with paper 1. Shall we go to part 2? Yeah, good. So let's go to part 2. So part 2 is a serious paper. You have your skills on reading will be tested. Your skills on speaking will be tested. Speaking, how do you test speaking? Yes, indirectly your speaking skills will be tested. You have in part B something called dialogues, right? So that will be there. Also, the last part, the C part, will be on writing skills. So reading, dialogue and writing. So in part A, look at the number of questions. You have 5 questions. Oh my God. But don't worry, not hard. When it comes to reading, keep in mind, children, one good thing, you all have MCQs here, and 1 or 2 answers you'll be getting to who is referred to as he, who is referred to as she, all these things, right? So a few tips for you on reading, right? So what do you have to do? For example, when they ask you for a name, you look for capital letters, right? Do you need to know all the words given in the passage? Passage එකේ දීලා තියෙන හැම වචනයක්ම දැනගන්න උවමනා නැහැ. හොඳේ? එතකොට දරුවනේ ඔයාලට පුළුවන් එම වාක්‍ය නැවත නැවත කියවීමෙන් ඒ meaning එක guess කරන්න. Okay? So you should be able to guess the meaning. And numbers, again අහලා තිබ්බනම් if they ask you for numbers, you can look for numbers, words given in numbers, right? So you need not know all the words you can guess them and answer. So the first one, um, you know, uh, is on, the first question will be on, they'll be giving you some kind of words so that you will underline the most appropriate word, right? So even if you don't know the meaning of the word, this is where you should be able to guess the word. Also, another hint, another tip, if they ask you, for example, who is referred to as there? මෙන්න මෙහෙම ප්‍රශ්නයක් එනවාමයි. Because I'm not doing a reading question again, since we have done one to save time, I'm just giving you tips and going to the dialogue part. Right? So when you say there, it'll make a possessive එකක් නේ. This is a possessive form. So you can't say children. If you say children, your answer will be marked wrong. Okay? So in your answer, you have to write children's, the entire thing. Right? Also, sometimes they will give you blanks asking you to write one word or two words. When they give you a question like that, do not exceed this limit. If they say one word, it has to be one word. If they say 5-lettered word, it has to be the 5-lettered word. Okay? So the reading, most of the reading questions are something like a copywriting. බලා ලිවීමක් වගේ නේද? එතකොට හොඳට මතක තියාගන්න දරුවනේ spellings ඒ විදිහෙන්ම තියෙන්න ඕනේ. Otherwise you will be penalized. So your spellings, because you're just kind of, it's a kind of a copywriting. So when you look at the word and write, it has to be exactly the same way. Yeah, got it? Yes, good. Right, so let's go to the dialogue part, B part. You have 25 marks here. Right? 25 marks. So how many questions do you have in this? Earlier you had 50 marks for reading. 5 questions, you had 50 marks. And now part B, you have 25 marks. So each mark is very important when it comes to an exam, yeah? Yes. So the first question will be something like this. So what you have to do, you have to, they will give you a situation and you have to answer in a proper way. Right? So look at the question. How do you respond in each of the following situation? Write only one. හොඳට මතක තියාගන්න දරුවනේ. Write only one. When they ask you to write one sentence, එක වාක්‍යයක් ලියන්න කියලා තියෙද්දී වාක්‍යයි ලියන්න ඕනේ. වාක්‍යයක් නැත්තම් ප්‍රශ්නයක්. You have to write only one. ஒரு sentence and இருக்கும் போது பிள்ளைகளே நாங்க ஒரு நாளும் 2-3 எழுதப்படாது. ஒரு sentence or கேள்வி. Right? It has to be one. So look at the first one. Your sister has scribbled on the English book that your friend lent you. What would you say to your friend? Your sister has scribbled on the English book that your friend lent you. What would you say? I, beginning with I. What will you say? Yes. So, will you say? This is where your politeness also should come in. Your knowledge, not only your language. You know, when we move with people, we should know what kind of language to use. Right? You go and say your friend, hi buddy, but can we say that to your teacher? No. When you have done something wrong, can you speak in a very high tone? You have to be polite. So I, maybe you can say I'm sorry and then continue, but it has to be one sentence, right? So think of the sentence. Okay? I'm sorry, a small hint, children. See, your sister has scribbled on the English book that your friend lent you. So I'm sorry, and then maybe you can use the same words but think of the tense. Okay, look at the second one. You are announcing at the morning assembly today. How will you introduce the next item? The next item is, and then the sentence. Right? Look at number 3. You need to go to the library with your friend to complete your group assignment. How will you suggest? How will you suggest? Shall, and then shall, yes, shall we, and take the words given here. Shall we, look at the words, they are given here. So you need not say this part, right? And you can use this also. Shall we go to the library to, yeah, we can use them. Can you say your now? No, it has to be our. So certain things you have to change. Here, can you say your sister? You have to change it, my sister. Yeah? So things like that. So I have given you only 3 questions to answer in that. So next part of it. Yes, so this is also something. So when you complete this kind of a dialogue, children, always read what have been given as the next sentence. So this is a question mark, which means you have to ask a question. Right? Danushi, hello Darren. Yes, hello Danu. So the blank. Danushi, no Darren, I couldn't do my assignment on word classes. So what will you say? It has to be a question. And you have the answer here. I couldn't do my assignment. So have you and the answer. Then Darren says, he says something. Then Danushi says, good idea. Thanks, Darren. I think we should hurry up as he has to go to the office. So what is this? Good idea. So what do you think Darren is suggesting now to Danushi? So that has to be a suggestion. So here, another statement. Right? So between this and this, what can you say? So he has to go to the office. So what do you think Darren could say? Then again, Danushi, can you bring my books, please? Another question. Look at the answer. They are on my table. Right? So what can Darren be asking? Where are the books? Look at the, say, please, can you? So these are all polite expressions. They are on my table. Here they are. Let's hurry up. And the final thing? Yeah. So if you use them properly, how much marks will you get? 5 marks. Right? So here you have to keep in your mind, do not use more than 2 sentences in each blank. What will happen if you write 2 sentences, more than 2 sentences? You will be penalized. So always follow the instructions, children, when you write answers. And the next thing that I wanted to tell you was, when you write something like this, think of the politeness markers, think of the words that you have to use. Yeah? Yes. So it doesn't have to be the same answer for everyone. Your answers may differ, but it has to be appropriate. It has to be grammatically correct. And it has to be appropriate for the situation. 2 things. දේවල් දෙකක් නේද දරුවනේ. Grammatically හරි sentences ලියන්නත් ඕනේ. ඒ වගේම it has to be appropriate. සුදුසු වෙන්නත් ඕනේ. Right? Okay, let's go to the next one. So next one is, you have to write a complete dialogue. Right? So 15 marks. Earlier it was 5 marks each. Question number 6 and 7 were 5 marks each. But now you'll be getting 15 marks. It's a huge mark. Right? So you are after A-level exam and you need to do a diploma in English, as it is helpful in your higher education. To obtain further information about the diploma, you call BCC. institute, write out the telephone conversation that takes place between the receptionist of BCC and you. Look at the question. Each one should speak at least 5 times. එක්කෙනෙක් කියන්නේ දෙන්නෙක්නේ receptionist and you. දෙන්නෙක් අතර යෙදෙන සංවාදයකදී එක්කෙනෙක් අවම වශයෙන් 5 වතාවක්වත් කතා කළ යුතුයි. Or all at least 5 times. අංජ තරව කදකවනම්. So you have 10 utterances නේද? 10ක් තියෙන්න ඕනේ. So 5 each. So you have to speak 5 times. The receptionist has to speak 5 times. Okay? If that number පහට වඩා අඩු වුණොත් be careful, you could be penalized. Right? So that has to be very, very carefully handled. Think of the tense. Right? Think of the tense. So those are very important things. They have to be grammatically correct. Right? It has to be grammatically correct. And for the format, I told you have to have at least 5 times. Each one has to speak at least 5 times. For that, you'll be getting 1 mark. එක්කෙනෙක් අවම වශයෙන් 5 වතාවක්වත් කතා කරලා තිබ්බේ නැත්නම් මේකෙන් ලකුණක් අඩු වෙනවා. අපරාධනේ ලකුණක් අඩු කරගන්නේ. So follow the proper thing. For content, you'll be getting 5 marks. And for language, you'll be getting 9 marks. Oh my gosh, it's a lot. Right? So your language has to be excellent, free of grammatical errors, your word choice, all these are counted. Okay? And for your content, it has to be appropriate to the given situation and very interestingly arranged. So the conversation has to be very natural and it has to be very coherent. The coherence, the flow, the connection, they have to be there. Okay? Right. So that is the end of part B. So I have given you some phrases, sentences that we use for polite disagreement or strong disagreement, which might be useful for you. Right? Maybe you can take a few notes on that. Right. So I think if you make a note of it, it will be very, very useful for you at the exam, children. Right? I told you your utterance should be very, very polite. නේද? අර අපි සමහර කඩා ගන්නා වගේ වචන පාවිච්චි කරන්න එහෙම පාවිච්චි කරන්න එපා. පොඩ්ඩක් ලස්සනට polite වෙලා නේද? කොහොමද ඒ වගේ words use කරන්න කියලා බලමු. So also when you kind of make apologies, how do you make apologies? How do you accept apologies? I must apologize, I apologize for, I'd like to, I'm so sorry, I shouldn't have, it's all my fault. Right? Please forgive me, excuse me for, I'm terribly sorry. Pardon me for this. මේ වගේ ඕනම දෙයක් use කරන්න පුළුවනි දරුවනේ. But it has to be according to the question. How do you accept? කවුරු යන්නේ සමාව වෙන්න කියපුවම අපි දමල ගහලා පෝ සමාව දෙන්න බෑ කියන්නේ නෑනේ. නේද? So you have to be polite in that also. That's all right. Never mind. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about it. Don't mention it. ඒක අපි නිතර පාවිච්චි කරනවා නේද? That's okay. Right? Forget about it. Don't worry about it. No harm done. So these are some utterances that you can use in accepting apologies. Right? Yes. Let's go to the next. These are also some useful phrases. Asking about for an opinion. Could you tell me what do you think about? Do you think or do you feel? May I ask you? These are all very phrases that we use in discussions, in conversations with very polite utterances. Could you explain to me? Are you saying that? And also when you give opinion, in my opinion, As far as I can see, as far as I'm concerned, it seems to me that there can be no doubt. Yeah. So these are a few utterances that you can use in your conversations, in your dialogue part, that is part B. Also, when you give explanation, right, what I mean is, the reason for this is, okay, so when you agree with an opinion, how do you agree with an opinion? Or how do you politely refute or refuse? Right? So these have to be very polite. Yeah. So we have come to the last section of this, which is the writing skill, the part C. I would like to draw your attention to the marks. 65 marks. It's quite a lot, right? So actually, children, English is a subject that you don't end at the A levels. You don't dust and then you move on to the other one. We say, as you can find in your English book, one chapter is entirely dedicated to one unit. Describes about global language. That's, I think, your chapter 4, your unit 4. It talks about English being a global language. So English is very, very important, right? Very important in the sense, when you go for higher studies, when you do your, when you go for work, when you are involved in world of work, all these things are very, very important. So writing is the most difficult part out of the 4 skills, but that is what you should master also. It is not difficult if you do it properly. Nothing is difficult if you think you can do it, right? So have that spirit. I can, I will. Yeah. Okay. So you have, how many questions do you have? Yes, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah? Yes. So the first one is sentence construction based on given words. Right? So that's a kind of a sentence construction based on given words, which is very, very easy. And the second one will be interpreting data based on a graph. You have to write about 75 words, for which you will be given 10 marks. And then question number 11 is an informal letter, informal email or a notice. So the word limit will be 100 to 125. Then again question number 12, a formal letter. Then the last one, an essay. So all these things are very, very important because you are getting 65 marks. Let's move on to question number 9. So this is the type of question that you would get. Right? Look at this. Select any 5 words from the list of nouns, verbs, adjectives, and adverbs given below and use each one of them in a meaningful sentence. You may use verbs in any tense. Do not change the form of the other words. හොඳට මතක තියාගන්න දරුවනේ මෙන්න මෙතන කියන දේ. එතකොට අපිට තෝරගන්න වෙනවා මේකෙන් වචන පහක්. වචන පහෙන් අපිට sentences පහක් හදාගන්න වෙනවා. Right? Look at the thing. You may use the verb in any tense. Do not change the form of the words. Word එකේ form එක වෙනස් වෙන්න බෑ. For example, if you say wash, ඔන්න අපිට verb එකක්. අපිට මොනවද කියන්නේ? You may use verbs in any tense. අපිට wash, washed කියලා යොදන්න පුළුවන්. දැන් මෙතන laugh, laughed කියලා යොදන්න පුළුවන්. Cooked, cooked කියලා යොදන්න පුළුවන්. Cooking කියලා යොදන්න පුළුවන්. But look at the next part of it. Do not change the form of the other words. නමුත් අපිට මේවා වෙනස් කරන්න බෑ. Adjective, adverbs, nouns වෙනස් කරන්න බෑ. For example, if the given word is beauty, beauty කියන්නේ අපිට noun එකක්නේ. මේ beauty කියන වචනේ අපිට පාවිච්චි කරන්න බෑ beautiful adjective එකක් විදියට. You can't use. Right? එතකොට beautify කියලා අපිට verb එකකින් use කරන්න බෑ. You can't say beautify. Also, you can't use beautifully as an adverb. Right? If the given word is beauty, you have to use the same word. You can only change the verb to any tense, as you can see. Laugh can be laughed. Wash can be washing. Cook can be cooking. Right? So be careful when you use such a word. So put a ලියන්න පුළුවන් නම් ලියලා බලමු. Just write a few sentences to see. නිකං වාක්‍ය ලියලා හරියන්නේත් නෑ දරුවනේ. The sentence has to bring out the meaning. Right? It has to bring out the meaning of the sentence. Okay? So the word given here is cook. If you say my mother cooks rice, does it bring out the meaning? She cooks, they cook. So the meaning is not there. Okay, so you have to bring out the meaning. Brave. So it has to be brave, you can't change. Yeah, so you can have a soldier's name and say is a brave soldier who fought for our country, you know, something like that. So the word has to be exactly in the same way. Right. Look at number 10. We have come to question number 10, interpreting data based on a graph, chart or table. So the word limit will be 75 words for which you will be given 10 marks, a huge mark. Normally, when you are given a graph, we don't write facts which are not given in the graph. දැන් මේකෙන් බලන්නේ ඔයාලගේ ability එක graph එකක් describe කරන්න පුළුවන්ද, compare කරන්න පුළුවන්ද දීලා තියෙන graphical information එක්කලා trends මොනවද කියලා අහද්දී ඔයාලට හිතෙන දේවල් ලියලා බැහැනේ. So you can't write the facts which are not given in the graph. ඒතර ඔයාලගේ your opinions අපි හිතන දේ නේද? ඒව ලියන්නත් බෑ. So your knowledge on grammar, vocabulary, sequence markers, so ordering it logically are also very, very important. Right? So that is about this. So again, this also you'll be getting 10 marks. You'll be getting 4 for content and you'll be getting 6 for language. 4 for content and 6 for language. Okay, so very, very important because your knowledge on when it comes to the content, you have to use the specific length. The content should be appropriate. You have to elaborate the data sufficiently and you have to organize the facts in a very logical manner. When it comes to language, you have to use excellent use of language. It has to be free of grammatical errors and excellent word choice. Your ability to pick and choose the words is very, very important. So for that you will be getting 6 marks. So it depends on your language whether you get 5, 6, 4, 2 or whatever. Right? So some useful vocabulary would be this. The vertical axis shows, the horizontal axis represents, the curve illustrates, the solid line shows. You know, these are very, very important words and phrases when you describe graphs. Some verbs, nouns, and adjectives and adverbs when you describe your, yeah. So some verbs can be taken as nouns and verbs both as well. When you say there is a rise, it's a noun. When you say rise, it can be, the same word can be put in a verb also. So make use of these words: sharp, rapid, huge, there's a dramatic rise, substantial, considerable fall. Okay, also adverbs: dramatically, rapidly. Okay, right. So jot down them because they are very, very important. Right? Yes. So maybe this is a new word: plummet. Plummet. Okay. So these are a few more words where you can talk about the rise, talk about the fall, and then these are verbs, adverbs that we can use to describe how things happen. Right? Sharply, rapidly, considerably. So this is, it remained constant. It it was maintained, something like that you can say. And a few examples: the number of, according to the question, increased significantly between, you can use the years. Production rose, so that's given in the past tense, from 800 units in May to 1000 units the following month. So think of the tense, students. It's a diagram, it's a graph. So usually something that has already, the action is over, right? Yeah. So look at this question. The bar chart below shows the number of men and women studying engineering at Australian universities. Summarize the information in the chart by selecting and reporting the main features. Right. So you can make comparisons. Right. 1992, the number of male students, female students, and number of male students. Has that increased or dropped? Dropped drastically, or has it remained constant? The male have remained constant right through this decade, 2002 to 2012. But the female from 1992 to 2012 have increased. So what adverb can you use? Rapidly. What are the words you can use? Think of the word that I have given now. So maybe you can compare, right? Right, this is just a sample answer. The bar chart illustrates the number of men and women studying engineering at Australian universities between, and the things. See, fell slightly from 1992 to 2002. So they have given the numbers also, fell slightly. Look at this. Okay. And then look at the linking word. However, while the number of men decreased. So this is the type of words that you have to use in your answers. And then, yes, we can see a clear upward trend in the number of female engineering. Yeah. Okay, so this is a line graph. Example of a line graph. So think of the words that you can use. You can tell the type of what type of technology people use. So this is also a kind of sample answer. Okay, so look at this, increase dramatically. You can say the line graph also here without just saying the graph. See, climbing more slowly, rose steadily, right? Surge, shot up, grew strikingly, similarly. Yeah. So don't go to give your opinion. What do you think of this? No. I think people shouldn't use smartphone. No, don't use those things. Only you are going to, because this is something academic, you are going to write only what is given in the graph. Right? So don't think of other things. So what is this kind of, what do we call them? What do we call them? Right. Right. So think of this. We call it pie chart. Yes. So these are called wedges. Right. These are called wedges. So you can again describe another sample answer for this. So you can say the pie chart. Right. Yes. Shows the results of a survey. See how it has been written, which people aged 16 and over were asked about their preferred devices for access in the internet. So here see they have given the devices: a smartphone, a laptop, a tablet and a desktop computer. From the pie chart it is clear that the majority of the participants, so you can talk about that. Okay, look at this. Look at the device. In conclusion, so use these words. Okay, right. Formal and informal letters. Yes, so question number 11 will be an informal letter, and question number 12 will be a formal letter. So informal is a letter that you write to your aunt. නේද? informal කියන්නේ ඔයාලා ආන්ටිට යාළුවට අම්මට තාත්තට ලියන ලිපියක් නේද? formal කියන්නේ විදුහල්පති කෙනෙක්ට එහෙම නැත්නම් යම්කිසි official very formally settings වලදී ලියන ලියුමකට අපි කියනවා ලිපියකට අපි කියනවා formal letters කියලා. right. එතකොට මේ දෙකේ මේක ලියද්දි දරුවනේ මේ දෙක අතර වෙනසක් තියනවාද? formal letters ලියන්න ඕන ක්‍රමයකුයි informal letters ලියන්න ඕන ක්‍රමයක් අතර වෙනසක් තියනවද? අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම තියනවා දරුවනේ. right? අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම වෙනසක් තියනවා. දැන් බලන්න ඔයාලට මේ informal letter එකට ලකුණු 15ක් හම්බෙනවා. ලොකු ගාණක්. ඒ 15 බෙදෙන්නේ content you'll be getting 5 marks and language you'll be getting 10 marks. Right? If your content, if you have used a specific length, then මෙයාලා අහන්නේ what they want is about 100 to 125 words. වචන 10ක් එහාට මෙහාට උනාට කමක් නැහැ. Doesn't matter if you have, kind of a little here and there but not a lot. So if you have used a specific length, if the content is very appropriate, your content has to be very interesting, and you should have a good, kind of appropriate beginning, appropriate ending, select and organize the given facts very effectively. All these are very important in both writing. I'm talking about the informal writing. So if these content are there, you will get 5 marks totally. It depends on how you include these things. Your mark depends on your writing. And then for language, if your language is excellent, free of grammatical errors, and if you have an excellent word choice, you will get 10 marks, right? So informal letter. So for the formal letter, your marking criteria will be, what is your mark? How much marks will you get? Yeah, you will get 15 marks for the formal letter also, right? හොඳට මතක තියාගන්න දරුවනේ format එකට ලකුණක් හම්බෙනවා. I'll tell you what the format is. Content එකට ලකුණු 4ක් හම්බෙනවා. If, according to the question, the content. Your organization carries 2 marks. දැන් අපිට මේවා formal informal letter එකේ තිබ්බේ නැහැ. But you will find these things in your informal letter, official letter එකේ තියෙනවා. දෙකටම ලකුණු 15යි. නමුත් it changes. The marking criteria changes. And then organization 2 marks, language you will get 8 marks. Right? So what I meant by format is this. Right? Normally formal letter එකක් අපි පටන් ගන්නවා dear sir. Official letter එකක් නේද? Dear sir එහෙම නැත්නම් dear madam. Dear sir හරි හොඳට අහගන්න. Dear sir හරි dear madam හරි කියලා ආමන්ත්‍රණය කරපුවාම අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම ඔයාලා close කරන්න ඕනේ yours faithfully. பிள்ளைகளே நீங்க dear sir இல்லாட்டி dear madam உங்களோட கடிதத்தை துவங்கினா நீங்க கட்டாயம் you have to close it saying yours faithfully. If you use the name, you can say sincerely. Right? This is very, very important. But for the informal letter, that doesn't matter. You can say hello, you can say hi, because it is informal. So the ending could be best wishes, love, all the best, all these things. So just go through this. Right? So first, how do you start your letter or your email when it comes to formal and when it comes to informal? Right? So if you have received a letter earlier, you say, I thank you for your letter, email, dated, all this information. If you are going to request something, I'm writing to request information about. අර අපි කලින් dialogue එකක් කරේ, we did a dialogue on calling BCC Institute to find details. If you are writing a letter, an official letter, so you can use this. I'm writing to request information about, something like that. So you also can say then your final remarks. I look forward to hear from you. Right? මේ දෙක පටල ගන්න එපා. අපි දැන් boss කෙනෙක්ට හරි principal කෙනෙක්ට හරි අපි කියන්නේ නැහැනේ hope to hear from you soon කියලා. There's a hierarchy. You have to respect that hierarchy. Okay? Yes. දැන් අනිත් එක දැන් අපි දකින ගොඩක් ওই වගේ answers වල දරුවනේ අපි දැන් ඔන්න අපි මොකක් හරි රික්වෙස්ට් කරනවා කියමුකෝ අපිට කොහරි යන්න ඕනේ නැත්නම් අපිට මොනවා හරි අවශ්‍යයි ලියුම ලියලා අන්තිමට අපේ දරුවෝ දානවා reply as soon as possible මගේ අම්මෝ reply as soon as possible මම නිකන් හරියට මමයි ලොක්කා ඔයා නිකන් සොක්කා වගේ එහෙම අපි උත්තර ලියන්නේ නැහැ. Right? So you have to be very polite. Okay? So this is one polite final remark. I hope to hear from you at your earliest. As soon as possible කියන්නේ නෑ අපි. නේද? ඉක්මනට එවන්න ඉක්මනට කියන්න නිකන් ඒ ටෝන් එක නිකන් හරි නැහැනේ නේද? Right? So please reply at your earliest. Please be kind enough to reply. Please be good enough. right? So these are all polite utterances which you have to use. So this is another few words, phrases. Yeah. So these letter writing children, whether it is formal or informal, very, very important. You have to learn, right? So it's not too late. You have time. Better be late than never. So start today. Right, I was these are a few more useful phrases. This is for formal letter writing or emails. Right? Okay. So these are also few දැන් අපි ask කියලා කියන්නේ නැතුව අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් inquire. Not you don't ask for information, you request something. You don't book something, we reserve. මෙන්න මේ වගේ පුතේ දුවේ වචන වෙනස් වෙනවා අපි formal writing එකකදී. Tough වෙනකොට අපිට කියන්න පුළුවන් difficult. You don't say explain, we say disclose. You know, these are very, very important. Okay. So we don't say start, we say commence when it comes to formal setting. And then this also. Have a look at this also. Might be useful. Right. Okay, so these are a few words and phrases for an informal letter writing. Just took a few pictures, otherwise looking at it all the time in white might make you tired or bored, you know. Yes, so guess what this is? Is it an email or a letter? Is it formal or informal? Yeah. So when you are requested to write emails, think of this. You're in your